25. Time is now 7:00 p.m. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silent meditation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible. Okay, first item is roll call. Here.
Deputy Mayor Frank Gerton. Councilmember Adam Dyer.
Here.
Councilmember Susan Romey. Here. Councilmember David Nutt.
Here.
Okay. Next will be additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda, if any. Does anyone in council have any additions or deletions or changes? Hearing none, we will move on to presentations, proclamations, and introductions. Starting off with the first item, which is police officer introduction. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Yes. Chief Butler obviously couldn't be here tonight. He had a previous engagement, so that's why I'm standing in for him tonight. So this is where we introduce our latest and greatest police officer, Christopher Lewis. If you could stand up here, Chris. So just a little background on Chris. You can come a little closer.
He's a lot taller than you.
Yeah.
It's muscle for the organization.
Hey, no, wait till the next one. No, this guy's real. You took, I think he's, we're starting harder. 6'10". We're going to have a special police vehicle for him.
I'm afraid.
Anyway, so this is Chris Lewis. Chris was born in Texas, where his father was stationed in, hold on, go my son here. He was stationed in Fort Hood. Shortly after that, family relocated up to the Northeast and settled in the Boston, Massachusetts area. That's where Chris attended the public schools, and he became a really good athlete. In high school, played basketball, football, and he got really good where he actually received a full scholarship to play basketball at the University of Massachusetts, formerly Mount Ida College. Chris received his associate's degree before transferring to Northeastern University on a full scholarship to play football. After attending Northeastern University, Chris's son was born, where he had to take a break from school in order to care for his son. And then fast forward, he began to, in order to support his son, began to work for the Massachusetts Turnpike Authority. And he remained there for approximately 18 years. Then he ended up getting tired of the cold and the snow. So, like a lot of us, he came down to Sunshine State. This is where he began his law enforcement career. He attended the Corrections Academy, where he became the class president, and went to work for the Florida Department of Corrections, working at Martin County Correctional Institute, and he was there for approximately 2 years. Then what happened was he started feeling like one of the inmates there. So he says, I got to get out of here. So he wanted to go to the road, and he ended up doing the crossover academy to law enforcement. And let's see, where am I at here? So then he became dual certified in corrections as well as law enforcement. He's also certified EMT. And yeah, so we're lucky to have him. He's just started his FTO process, his phases, which includes 2 weeks of orientation, which includes firearms training, training with less lethal weapons, review of our policies and procedures. And then he is assigned right now to, I believe, Sergeant Gannon, correct? Yeah. So he'll go through our FTO process, and soon after that, he'll be on his own. So now I'd like to administer the oath. Okay?
Yep.
So if you could raise your right hand, and if you could state your name.
Christopher Lewis,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
defend,
defend,
and comply with the Constitution of the United States. Repeat again. I will defend
I will defend
and comply
and comply
with the Constitution of the United States,
with the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Florida,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Florida,
the charter, laws, and ordinances
the charter, law, and ordinances
of the city of Indian Harbor Beach,
of the city of Indian Harbor Beach,
the rules and regulations of the Indian Harbor Beach Police
the
Department,
rules and regulations of the Indian Harbor Beach Police Department,
and the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics,
and the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
And I will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office as a police officer
of my office as a police officer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
So he's going to have his mom come up and pin him with his badge. So, Mom, if you could step up. You have time to take a couple of pictures?
Of course.
Is that all right?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a fun stuff. Usually it is. So. And the police officer.
Oh, 6:15, we'll have jets off.
Duck down. Congratulations and welcome. Okay, next is Water Conservation Month proclamation. Is there anyone here representing that group? Seeing none, I will sign the proclamation and we will provide it to that group. I know, but that's the exciting part. So, all right. Next is approval of minutes. This is for the regular council meeting of March 25th, 2025.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Gerton, second by Councilmember Dyer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. On to reports, starting off with the city manager's report. City Manager Coffey.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, council members, residents here and watching at home. I'd like to report, last week I signed a state contract bid to replace the 2003 Recreation Department truck. The budget contains $38,000. The bid came in $1 shy of $40,000. Sufficient funding is available in the city manager's contingency to cover the overage. The contingency tracker is attached. The Gleason Park Phase 2 invasive tree removal project is scheduled to commence this Thursday. It should be a 2-day project, and staff will proceed with site restoration and native tree plantings. The update on Gleason Park restroom project, the Contractor concluded last week all the site work with restoration of the site and sod. Waiting on FP&L to connect the power to the meter is the last major element. Once that's done, we'll be putting automatic timer locks on the doors, so the units open and shut in accordance with the park hours. Update on the security camera project you approved earlier this fiscal year. The 2 cameras at the beach are scheduled to be installed mid this month. The remaining camera at Gleason Park is on back order and probably will not be installed till late autumn. The vendor has provided us an invoice credit for the gap in service, which will be applied to our 2026 renewal invoice. Waste Management Franchise Agreement proposed extension. Staff recently received the proposed extension terms from Waste Management. City Attorney Bone has reviewed the terms, and I will draft a proposed ordinance to extend the agreement for 5 years for your consideration. Anticipate this being in front of you in June. Non-resident paid beach parking program update. The program started on March 31st. We are in the 2-week grace period right now. Citations for noncompliance will start next Monday. As of today, our parking vendor told us that 1,370 residents have registered their vehicles. Highway A1A replacement memorial sign. Management analyst Ori Covert's dogged persistence with FDOT has finally paid off, the sign being replaced last month. Sadly, the family member could not make the unveiling. The legislative tracker is attached and will be updated. The end of the session is May 2nd. Employee recognition, Police Chief Butler and Sergeant Carter had a resident stop by the police department recently about Officer Magellan, that the resident said his muffler on his vehicle came loose, and Officer Magellan stopped and got down on the ground and helped him do a temporary fix. He was very thankful and appreciative of our police department's effort to go above and beyond the call of service to help a resident in need. Tentative items for the next regular city council meeting will be City Clerk's Week Proclamation, Police Department Promotion Ceremony, Comprehensive Plan Update Service Award of Contract, and Recreation Bathhouse Renovation Award of Contract. There are a lot of meetings and activities coming up. I will not read them all. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Next is City Attorney's report. Carl, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here, and I have nothing to report on, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next is council comments. Anyone in council have any comments? We'll start with our deputy mayor.
I attended the South Coalition meeting down there in the Atlantic, and it's kind of quiet. But we did have a good discussion as far as FDOT, et cetera, and all those issues from Melbourne Beach and in the Atlantic, Satellite Beach, and that type of thing. So that was positive. Trying to get everybody in the same direction, that type of thing. Other than that, we're going to be meeting again, I guess, in another month.
Okay,
But I don't have anything else to say about that.
okay. Councilmember Nutt?
I attended with Arbor Day celebration that the tree board had put on, and I wanted to every single tree was given out, and all residents, how they were going to be treated as far as planted. I did a great job, education, and we had a good connection. Look forward to it next year.
Okay. Councilmember Romy.
I agree with David. Arbor Day was great. Annie, you did a great job, and everyone involved did. And as Councilmember Nutt and City Manager Coffey mentioned, next year we would do it closer to the lake, make it a little easier to increase foot traffic. Also want to mention that, this weekend I was at the beach, and I have to say that easily half a dozen people came up and were thrilled with how things were working with the beach passes. So kudos to you on that. And just to mention that we're postponing the beach day, the community beach day with the cleaning stations to June 14th. And that's that.
Okay. Councilmember Dyer.
Just want to echo what the previous council members already spoke about. The Arbor Day celebration was you could tell you guys put a lot of effort into it, and it was well planned, well executed. Good job. It's a good event. I actually liked the location. It was nice by the little butterfly garden, though. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was not able to attend. We were out of town, so my apologies. Next time. Okay, on to public comments on agenda items only. If anybody from the audience wishes to come up and speak, please come up, state your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes. Seeing none, we will move past unfinished business because we don't have any. On to new business, item number 5, Planning and Zoning Board appointment. This is to consider appointing a resident to the unexpired alternate position on the Planning and Zoning Board with a term expiring September 30th, 2025. City Manager Coffey.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The Planning and Zoning Board consists of 5 voting members with 1 alternate. Brevard Public Schools appoints 1 non-voting member also. On March 11th, the City Council accepted resignation of then Councilmember-select Nutt's membership as an alternate position and authorized staff to advertise the vacant position. 2 residents submitted applications for the unexpired term. Of note, Mr. Longmire sent me an email today, said that he had a family commitment and could not attend. Staff recommends City Council appoint 1 of the residents to the unexpired alternate position with a term expiring on September 30th, 2025.
Okay, thank you. I reviewed both the letter of interest and resumes that was submitted. They're both highly qualified folks, and I know Ms. Jimian has been here for a long time, like me, and she's been attending a lot of the meetings, so I do appreciate that very much, the involvement. That's a good sign to see. But it's a difficult choice to make, but if it's up to me, which it's not, it's up to myself and the 4 others on this board. But my vote at this time would be for Ms. Jimian.
I would agree with that. Just, she's here. She has been coming to a bunch of the meetings. Mr. Longmire, I know, also was interested in the tree board, so maybe he would move on to that.
Go ahead.
I'll go along to that. Anybody that's usually you prep, you learn about the community, you go to the meetings, that type of thing. We learn about you, you learn about us, and you learn whether you want to stay there. So I definitely will support that.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative of anybody that wants to put their name in, volunteer, because it does take a lot. And I agree, both candidates are qualified, but I would have to give the nod because she has been attending on a regular basis, and I appreciate that.
I agree.
Okay. Sounds like the vote is unanimous. Okay. Would entertain a motion.
I make a motion for Linda Hin to be the new alternate on the Planning and Zoning Board.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Romy, second by Deputy Mayor Gerton. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0. Congratulations. Okay, on to item number 6, low-speed vehicle parking spots at beach parks. This is to consider reviewing the proposal for low-speed vehicle, LSV, parking at city beach parks and provide direction to staff. City Manager Coffey.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Late last year, Mayor Nickel requested staff explore the feasibility of creating some low-speed vehicle parking spaces at our city beach parks that did not take away from vehicular parking spots. Chief Butler and Public Works Director Scaldo and I went out and reviewed the 2 beach parks and came up with the proposal of the 2 areas that are shaded. I will go to that page. I did not take art class in school, so please forgive me for my crudely drawn areas, but to show you the approximate 2 locations of areas, Public Works Director Scaldo solicited a quote so y'all would have an idea what it would cost to basically concrete these areas in and adjust the sidewalks for ADA compliance, and it's approximately $8,700. So staff requests direction if you want us to proceed with this initiative. There is sufficient money in the city manager's contingency to cover this. Mr. Scaldo is here if you have specific questions.
Okay. I looked at the locations proposed, and I agree with where they are. This enables us to be done without taking away any parking from either of the parks. And the proposal is very reasonable. The only thing I would add that we might want to consider on this is I believe they indicated that geotechnical testing is not included. Yeah, it's on the right-hand side of the quote. We probably need a little bit of that just to make sure that the subgrade beneath the concrete is properly compacted. We don't want this falling apart after just a few years. That's on that. It shouldn't cost too much. It should literally be a couple of test spots. Should not be expensive.
I have a question as far as inquisitive. Who's going to be using these spaces?
The folks with low-speed vehicles that currently use the beach parks that park in a regular parking spot.
That's living in Indian Harbor Beach that are allowed to go ahead and use their low-speed vehicle.
They can on A1A. They can drive down A1A.
I understand.
And go into the parks.
They can go on A1A. So we have people that are registered that live here that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's anybody who's got a city code compliant, which essentially is a state compliant LSB that live in Indian Harbor Beach can, they can travel down A1A, can't travel down South Patrick, but they can travel down A1A and access the 2 beach parks that way. And there's been a few times when I've got up there and went to either check the surf or to go to the beach and think you got a spot, but then you come around the corner and there's a golf cart there. And they're LSD, sorry. They're perfectly entitled to be there, given the way it's set up right now. This is a good way to do it without impacting our regular vehicle.
Sorry to Councilmember Dyer, how much it would be used.
So I think it's a good idea because it generates more parking because, like the mayor said, currently those low-speed vehicles that are approved by the state of Florida, they're inspected and they're tagged and registered and all that. They'll be parking in those car parking lots, so that will just generate more parking for our residents.
There's nothing sensitive about those 2 areas in terms of or grassed areas. These are within that rectangular area. There's a bike rack.
Yeah,
there,
there's a
I'm
bike
sure.
rack. Yeah.
You can't see that shape. Walk down the sidewalk. On a bicycle rack. Do every day.
So, all right, so, John, can we look to see what's out there in terms of if there's a palm tree there? If there's a way to, if we had to split the slab into two pieces to go around the palm tree, something to make an adjustment if needed, if there is in fact a palm tree there.
The other aspect, we could move the palm tree. Mr. Scaldo's folks moved a lot of them on Atlantic Boulevard.
So, Todd, you want to elaborate on that? I saw you shaking your head.
There's two palm trees.
Okay,
Bike path.
okay, that's good. Okay, you've answered the question, that's good. I mean, that's what we needed to know, is if there's an issue. Sure. Okay. Fair enough.
I have a question. How many parking spaces is it going to provide?
Let's see.
Oh, by 20?
12 by 20,
12 by
Is there an estimate?
12.
3,950. Is that right?
Potentially
It's
3
roughly,
to 4.
it's roughly
Yeah.
three cart spaces.
Per park.
And that's great, because there's usually 3 to 4 golf carts up there every time I'm there, so that would be
Yeah.
perfect.
It's minimal, it doesn't need to be a lot. Comments? Yes, sir.
Are these only residents or anybody?
Well, we're not metering this that I'm aware of. Or are we?
They do have a Florida tag, so they would need to be registered through
Okay.
PCI.
The same thing would apply as we currently have for paid parking. So if those of you listening out there, if you have a LSV, you need to register that tag as well if you're an Indian Harbor Beach resident.
Can we maybe do a post on Facebook just to let people know that?
Yeah, that's probably something we need to emphasize to folks because
Or in Harbor highlights, whatever.
I can see that getting missed potentially.
Did the attorney have something else?
I do. So if I have to obtain the beach parking permit, is available for residents, or is it just specifically for residents only?
Just residents only,
Yeah.
just like the beach parking is.
Well, can they pay?
That's what I'm getting at. Can they pay and park there?
So can we designate those spaces? I presume the spaces that are the paid parking will have numbers assigned to them. Is that correct or not? Those are just by tag read?
Yeah, just by tag read. With regular vehicles, if you drive from Indian Atlantic or Satellite Beach down A1A, you can park if and pay the fee. Unless you want to change the parking concept for these low-speed vehicles, theoretically, someone with a low-speed vehicle who's registered through the state could drive up A1A to these parks and park.
So if you
And pay the
were
fee.
if you were non-resident and you paid Is there anything that's dispersed? Is there a little ticket? Is there anything that you put in your windshield?
It'd be just like the other
It's
spots.
just like the other spots.
Okay.
If when they read your
So you put in your
tag,
tag, no,
Yeah.
shows that it's been paid.
when
So, okay, so that would be, that shouldn't be a problem then.
So they're subject to the same thing.
Right.
So it'd be similar to the cars, like
So
I
if
said.
they
start
read the
with
tags
something.
on the LSVs, then it's going to pop up that they've paid. Yep, so that shouldn't. Charles, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. You have to address this into our code on beach parking. Because we have no regulations at all in place regarding vehicles and to at least
So low-speed vehicles, it's a registered car, it's a vehicle through the state, so it's a vehicle. That's the definition of a low-speed vehicle.
I just, without, I just wanted, if those falls under that definition, then we don't have to change anything. I just want to be sure that we're covered in our current code.
Yeah.
I have to change it.
All right, so that sounds like we need to look into it. And when you get a chance to, you and John get a chance to look over the code, we can figure out what needs to be done, if anything, as it relates to the code. Does that make sense?
Just wanted to mention.
Okay, no, good catch. All right. Anybody else? We're good on council with comments? I would entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion for the low-speed.
Who's going on your microphone?
I'd like to make a motion for the low-speed vehicle parking spots at the beach.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Nutt, second by Councilmember Dyer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Just for clarification, guys, I'm assuming that includes the expenditure of the money that was included in the proposal by Engineering Construction, correct?
Yeah, that's a valid concern. You want to go ahead and let's do that again. Make the motion again and include the.
Geo?
No, this is for the
Construction.
for the actual construction contract with Adrian Turnbull Construction. So,
To award it.
yeah, to award it to Adrian Turnbull Construction and the amount.
I'd like to make a motion to make the awarding $8,700 to Adrian Turnbull.
I'll second the amended motion.
Motion by Councilmember Nutt, second by Councilmember Dyer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. All right, next is item number 7, Gopher Tortoise Relocation. This is consider awarding a contract not to exceed $60,000 to Atlantic Environmental to relocate 8 Gopher tortoises from the Algonquin Sports Complex. City Manager Coffey.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. A survey done recently of the expansion site indicated 8 Gopher tortoises need to be relocated before construction could begin. The city secured the required relocation permit from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. In accordance with city charter, we advertised solicitation of bids in the local newspaper. 2 bids were received, one by Atlantic Environmental and one by Terra Crafters. Terra Crafters bid removing 9 tortoises, and Atlantic bid for 8. If you adjust Terra Crafters bid down, their bid is $63,000 and change, while the Atlantic bid is just under $57,000. At the last council meeting, a resident asked a series of questions, and I have supplied the answers within the agenda packet. Staff recommends City Council award a contract not to exceed $60,000 to Atlantic Environmental to relocate Gopher tortoises from the Algonquin Sports Complex.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone on council have any comments for this item? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion. And I'll jump at once.
I'd like to make a motion to award a contract not to exceed $60,000 to Atlantic Environmental to relocate Gopher tortoises from the Algonquin Sports Complex.
Motion by Councilmember Dyer, second by Councilmember Nutt. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. All right, next is public forum. Anyone in the audience wish to come up and speak on anything, come up and state your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nutt, second by Councilmember Dyer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. We're adjourned.